According to Bentley, the new £160,000, 187 miles an hour Bentayga is, and I quote, the fastest, most luxurious, most exclusive SUV in the world. Whether you agree with such a claim, and no matter what you might think of the car's, shall we say, challenging exterior design, the Bentayga itself represents a brand new era for Bentley. It is, says its chief designer, one of the most important cars Bentley has ever launched. Beneath its vast high bonnet lurks a brand new twin-turbocharged 6-litre W12 engine, mated to an 8-speed gearbox and one of the world's most advanced four-wheel drive systems. The Bentayga's suspension is controlled by a radical new 48-volt electronic operating system that boasts 4 different on-road drive modes and 4 more modes for off-roading, with electronic roll control thrown in for good measure. And its cabin is, well, pretty much what you'd expect from a new Bentley SUV, with a mix of style, space, quality and tradition that makes it unique, even amongst the world's very best SUVs. Question is though, is it any good to drive? Well, the first thing that strikes you is just this incredible sense of refinement, which I've certainly never experienced sitting this high up in an SUV, purely because you have never had this much refinement, this much luxury in an SUV, and it's a unique experience, and it's a rather lovely experience actually. But there are several things about the way the Bentayga drives that is really quite surprising, and in a very, very good way. It is properly agile on the move. The steering wheel here kind of almost feels like it's been ripped out of a sports car. You know, it's quite small, the rim is really nice and thick. And because you have this high up driving position, it doesn't feel anywhere near as big as other Bentleys on the move. It feels not as big as a Continental GT on the move, and that's a proper achievement. So we know the underpinnings in the Bentayga are from the next Porsche Cayenne. They're a kind of hybrid of the next Porsche Cayenne, and you can just feel so much sophistication going on beneath you. I mean, there are all these drive modes that you can select. There's comfort, there's sport, there's Bentley, there's custom, and then there are 4 different off-road modes that you can select as well. But all the time, there is this lovely underlying sense of refinement to the Bentas, and yet when you pop it up into sport, you do get this pretty surreal sense of control, so that, you know, you can drive it properly hard, even on a tight and little twisty road like this, and it feels sorted. It is amazing how together this thing feels when you start to drive it quickly. And my goodness me, it is quick. 600 horsepower and 900 newton meters of torque, even in a 2.4 ton vehicle, is always going to mean you have thumping performance. And it's kind of bonkers how fast the Bentayga feels. It does need quite a bit of room in which to stop though, I have to say. Eventually they are going to put carbon brakes on it, probably only as an option. And I would strongly suggest that if you buy one of these things, tick the box marked carbon brakes option when they become available, because it needs them. The gearbox is the now pretty ubiquitous 8-speed ZF, obviously with an auto mode, and you can put it in manual and you can use the paddles. It works pretty well. I mean, it's nowhere near as crisp and sharp as a dual clutch, nothing like, but it works easily well enough. And when you have this much torque under your right foot, it pretty much doesn't matter what gear you're in anyway. The cabin of the Bentayga is a truly wonderful place in which to find yourself. I mean, there's this incredible combination of wood metal and leather, and the leather is just gorgeous. Quilted seats, you know, you feel this stuff and you think, that's not the same kind of leather that you feel in a BMW 3 Series, because it isn't. This stuff is an amazingly high quality leather. It just smells beautiful, it looks beautiful. This thing is beautiful. Not just in the front seats, but in the rear seats as well. I don't think it feels just as majestic in the rear seats as a Range Rover, because there isn't quite that sense of huge space that you get in the back of a Range Rover. But rear seats, very nice place to find yourself. I'm not massively convinced about the noise it makes. It's a bit kind of industrial sounding. I mean, there's no particular tune coming out from beneath the bonnet or the exhaust. But, you know, it's a bit industrial sounding, to be honest, this new W12 twin turbo. You can't knock the way it goes, obviously not, but listen to that. Sort of sounds all right, but I kind of like a little bit more music out of it than that, to be honest.
Bentley claims the Bentayga can get from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4 seconds dead, with a top speed of 187 miles an hour. And from the way it rockets towards the horizon whenever you put your foot down, you don't doubt these claims for 1 second. But the Bentayga is about so much more than just pure straight line performance. Its radical new electronic suspension is a revelation, both on and off-road, and its adjustable ride height and hill descent control systems mean it can go places you'd never even dream of taking it off-road. Only in its approach and departure angles does it suffer beside the best rivals from Range Rover and Porsche, and then only by a few millimetres. Truth is, it's almost as mind-blowing off-road as it is on-road. Well, almost.
So the conclusion of the Bentayga. Well, on this experience, it's an immensely impressive vehicle. It really is. It's fast, it's composed, it's beautiful to sit in inside. It drives pretty nicely too. And okay, some people might still have a bit of a problem with the way it looks, but actually in the flesh, particularly in this spec, I think it looks an awful lot better than it does in photographs. And you just, you know, you have to admire Bentley for coming up with a machine like this. No, I don't think it's just as sharp as a Cayenne. I think it's every bit as sharp as a Range Rover though, a standard Range Rover. And look, you can't argue with the order books ultimately. They initially thought they were going to build 3,500 of these, but they've subsequently changed that to over 5,000. That's how many people want to buy one of these cars. And that's how many people are going to be really very happy, I think, once they have bought one.
Click on the video windows to watch a technical insight into the new Range Rover Evoque convertible, or watch a first drive of the new Lexus GSF. Click on our logo to subscribe to our channel, or on the play icon to watch our latest video.